Hello, beautiful people. Today I'm going to be sharing a full day of cooking for my family and myself. For breakfast, I am making spinach waffles. You can use any waffle recipe that you like. You just have to combine the wet ingredients with a handful of spinach and blend until smooth before combining it with the dry ingredients. You won't taste the spinach. Trust me, I've been doing this since my kids were toddlers, so they don't find green waffles to taste any different than regular waffles. Also, this was filmed during spring break. I don't usually make waffles on a school morning. I just don't have that type of time. And you just cook it in your waffle maker per directions. My waffle maker has a setting for color, like how light or dark you want your waffles, and the texture, like fluffy or crispy. I believe the color determines how long it's going to be cooked for, and the texture determines how high the heat is. Mine took about 5 minutes per batch. Yeah, and then I also made some, what was I making there? Waffles, no, not waffles, patties, chicken patties. And I also added some fruits, a little bit of maple syrup for my kids' plates. I also made some scrambled eggs for my husband and I, along with the waffles and patties. I had some fruits with mine. My husband makes a smoothie every morning, so he didn't need more fruits. I worked out this morning, so I was like extra starving and I needed just some more protein. And this is our plates. For lunch, I started by seasoning some peeled and deveined shrimp. I am ready to admit to the world that for the longest time, I thought it was peeled and deveined shrimp instead of deveined. In my defense, shrimp is the superior protein and it is quite divine. Anyway, I use salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, smoked paprika, and chili powder. Just give it a mix and set aside. In the meantime, I made some rice. I'm also going to use these beautiful bell peppers as a side dish. These colors are so vibrant. I'm just going to slice them with some onion and saute it. My kids prefer raw bell peppers, so I made sure to leave some out for them. For the sauce that I'm going to add with the shrimp, I'm going to use some chipotle peppers and adobo sauce. You can use as many peppers as you like to determine, how spicy you want it. Just mince them very finely, and then I added some minced garlic, honey, ketchup and soy sauce and gave it a stir. As you can see, I really didn't measure here. I kind of just added the things that I want, then taste it in the end and adjust to my liking. The onion and peppers are going to take longer to cook, so I'm going to start with that. Added some oil to the skillet, and then I cooked the shrimp for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side. I love charred bell peppers and onion, and I've learned that the key is to cook on high heat, leave them alone for a few minutes. I love them almost burnt. This is not nearly as burnt enough for me. Here I'm just removing my kids' portion of the shrimp. Again, the sauce is kind of spicy, so I just want to make sure that it's not going to be too overwhelming for them. Now I'm going to add the sauce, tossing it together with the shrimp and cook until the sauce is heated through about a minute or two. We're going to have this with some rice. My husband wasn't at home at this time, so it's just the three of us. I ended up adding just a little bit of the sauce on top of their shrimp so they can try it. They actually liked it and they didn't think it was spicy like at all. So next time I don't have to separate their shrimp. I'm just going to toss it in together with the shrimp and of course their raw bell peppers. I like a lot of onions and peppers, and I drizzled mine with some lime juice. And yes, of course, I left some for my husband. I just let it cool all the way down before placing it in a container and refrigerate. And he can just warm it up whenever he is ready to eat. For dinner, I'm making baked spaghetti, and it's super simple to make. I started by browning some ground beef like you would with regular spaghetti and meat sauce. Then I removed it from the skillet. Start by sweating some onion, lots of minced garlic, and then you just add your favorite marinara sauce. I always doctor it up and add more seasoning to my liking. Then I return the ground beef back into the skillet and just let that simmer while I boil the pasta. Now you do want to make sure that the pasta is cooked al dente because it's going to be cooked in the oven for another 15 minutes. And now I'm just going to toss the meat sauce with the spaghetti. Add just a little bit of the meat sauce at a time. Toss and just keep adding some more. I like to save some of the meat sauce and add it to the bottom of the baking dish before adding the spaghetti, and then top it with some more meat sauce. Then you just add some shredded mozzarella, grated Parmesan, and this is optional, but my 10-year-old loves pepperoni on top of this. He gave me this idea years ago and I thought it was brilliant, so I just kept doing it whenever I make baked spaghetti. Now, you notice how I didn't add ricotta cheese or anything else to this. My baked spaghetti is pretty much just regular spaghetti with melted cheese on top. That's how we like it. This goes in the oven for 15 minutes or so until the cheese has melted and the pepperoni is crispy. With that, my kids are going to have roasted broccoli. Just add a little bit of oil, salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Toss and place it in the oven for 15 minutes also. I'm making a salad for my husband and I like to keep it simple. Arugula, tomato slices, avocado for me, grated Parmesan, salt, pepper, a drizzle of olive oil, and balsamic glaze. And when the pasta is ready, just let it sit for a few minutes to cool. And that's it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I will see you next time. Bye.